Miletis Apostolidis wants his house back, not the one he's currently living in the Greek Cypriot side of Nicosia, but the one he left 34 years ago in northern Cyprus. When border crossings were allowed in 2003, Mr. Apostolidis visited his childhood home. But he wasn't alone. Behind his house on his land was a new villa. The owners were British. A Nicosia court ordered the couple to demolish their house and pay compensation. But a British High Court said the ruling was invalid since Northern Cyprus is not recognized by any EU member. Mr. Apostolidis has now appealed to the European Court of Justice.
From what I understand, so it was taken to the courts in London, and they ruled in favor.
The court has to, in a way, if they really want the solution to the Cyprus problem, they has to acknowledge this basic right of me asking for my property. If they don't, I mean, it's like encouraging all these people to go and buy more. That means that they even create more problems to that. It's like saying we don't really want the solution there.
This monument is not far from Mr. Apostolidis' house near the northern Cypriot village of Kyrenia. It commemorates the landing of Turkish troops in July 1974. They claim their presence was necessary to prevent a military coup in the south. When the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus declared its independence in 1983, it was only recognized by Turkey. Cyprus's division was sealed. What followed was a period of economic isolation, embargoes, and sanctions. Opening its doors and land to foreigners was seen as a key way to help the economy, and it worked. Today it's estimated that about 22,000 foreigners have purchased properties in North Cyprus, and approximately 14,000 live here permanently. Most of them are British. And income from these foreign residents accounts for approximately 40% of its economic wealth. But increasingly, foreign property owners are finding themselves trapped in bad deals, unfinished houses, and no legal backing.
This house is from a couple from Dubai. They actually bought the house. They haven't been out to it for a long time. As you can see, this is the condition they actually hand the houses over to us. The condition, I mean, you can see the gardens and the rubble that's left around, and the condition inside is just as bad as what it is outside.
Andy Hayden and his wife bought a house near Kyrenia 2 years ago. They paid €130,000 up front. When they moved from the UK, their house looked like this one, with no electricity or water. There was nothing they could do. The building site was illegal. The construction company had gone bankrupt.
So this is how the house was left for the owners?
This is the condition of the actual houses when we accepted them. And with doors missing, windows badly fitted, excrement on the floor, plaster coming off the walls, there's bird, mess, everything. When we did look at the houses around about, they were very nice, well presented and everything. This is what the estate agents show you, and this is what they present to you. But they don't show you this side of the horror story.
This is Andy's house. He says he and his wife Pauline had to finish the work themselves and pay additional costs. They say they feel cheated. They work in Northern Cyprus as teachers but feel isolated. They're still waiting for the title to their house.
There were no people to help us out, advisors or anything. And every time you went to a local agency like KibTech or the local Belvedere, they just turn around and give you a blank answer. You didn't know who to turn to, who to look to for help.
Cheap prices have no doubt been a luring factor for the Haytons and other foreign residents. Property in the north costs 40% less than in the south, but the risk is of course greater. Northern Cyprus started a building boom in 2003-2004 when the UN-backed Annan plan was expected to reunify the island. But while a majority of Turkish Cypriots said yes, their Greek counterparts said no. But developers still poured in. Title deeds were not always clear. Greek Cypriots argue that 80% of the land in the north belongs to them. Ali Osman Safa is an entrepreneur in every sense of the word. He says 4 years ago there were 50 registered developers. 3 years later that number had jumped to almost 1,000. He says the local government title deeds are legitimate. Many Turkish Cypriots were given land in the north to compensate losses in the south.
He said, I'm an entrepreneur. As far as the title is concerned, the government in North Cyprus guarantees the title to the property. However, basically, when it comes to what is being built upon, whether it is good workmanship, bad workmanship, or whether it's done within the legal ways, illegal ways, or within the guidelines, a different situation altogether. Yes, unfortunately, that has happened. For the last 4 years, I've been campaigning for the restrictions or for regulations, because one bad apple basically makes the whole box, and one bad builder gives it a bad name.
And a bad name is not something Northern Cyprus wants right now. Direct talks between the two sides are expected to start in the fall. Talks that could lead to a reunification of Cyprus and a lifting of sanctions. Property prices will also go up. But property claims remain complicated. Some 200,000 Greek Cypriots are believed to have left property in the north. Some have applied to the European Court of Human Rights demanding restitution and compensation from Turkey for blocking access to their property. But Northern Cyprus has also showed signs of wanting to resolve these claims by setting up a commission. Lawyer Emine Erk calls it a local remedy.
Under the present laws relating to property in the north, there is nothing to stop anybody, whether foreign or local, from purchasing property that prior to 1974 was Greek Cypriot. But what there is a mechanism, which is the commission, the Immovable Property Commission, which says if a Greek Cypriot comes to the north, applies here and says, this was my property and I have been deprived of my human rights relating to that property, then they are awarded a remedy which includes the possibility of getting restitution or compensation or exchange.
This house in Kyrenia is part of a landmark case. Today, Turkish migrant workers live here, but it belongs to a Greek Cypriot family, and it's set to be returned to them. The European Court of Human Rights ruled against Turkey in 1998 when the Loizidou family filed against the state.
Where he saw his painting.
This painting is all Titina Loizidou has of her family's house. While Turkey has paid 1.2 million euros in compensation, the house, which is in her sister's name, has yet to be returned. She believes there should be a moratorium on any further development in the north.
I think one of the problems in Cyprus is not only the physical division of Cyprus, is not only that people are not together and live together. It's the psychological feeling and the trauma that Cypriots have gone through. So if there is an agreement that this will be on hold and until we find a solution for the Cyprus problem, I think this will create a positive feeling to both sides for the reunification of Cyprus.
Basic rights, human rights, property rights. Key words that promise to feature high in the upcoming months when both sides edge closer to finding a solution to one of Europe's longest conflicts.